Yo, I'm not a soccer fan or a fan de football, but I'm gonna tell you right now, I wish I was. I wish I grew up a football fan because I see the celebration, man. I look at some of these videos, bro, and I see these cats just like killing it, you know, mixing celebration with the music, the tribal music, representing each country. FIFA is like on live and all that, same time. New York Knicks seem to be killing it. And the way I see things, a complete celebration between the divine masculine and the divine feminine. As the divine masculine in celebration, right? They exert all of this like over excess testosterone in complete like, and at the same time, you know, as you're screaming, you're also receiving. That's the divine feminine and the masculine finally being in union in the moment. And you see this cohesive effort of countries gathering around, being in union, celebrating. And the center of that, well, the source of it is due to this ball, this football. But what surrounds that football, which allows for the imaginative mind to form new possibilities, is a stadium. The stadium that could sit anywhere from 15,000 to, what is it, the Dallas Cowboys could fit like 90-something thousand people in that stadium. So anywhere from 15,000 to 70 to 90,000 people in one stadium. See, but that's not where the excitement is. The excitement is the millions, possibly billions of people. Even if you're not a football fan, even if you're not a fan of the New York Knicks. I kind of like grew up a Jersey Nets fan when they sucked for a long time, and I kind of like still do, I think. And then they moved over to the Brooklyn Nets, so now they're a New York team. But even so, you can feel the energy, whether it's an uprising or the havoc that's being wreaked up in New York City. You can feel it, you can sense it. Yet I don't even watch TV like that. You can just feel it in your bones. It's to show you that the power of celebration, the power of unity consciousness, when it's together, there ain't no noise outside of that. See, you're not even thinking about your problems of work the next day, if you have to go to work, your issues at home, your health-related issues, maybe your financial issues. It doesn't matter how poor you are. It doesn't matter how wealthy you are. It's like a great celebration, a great unraveling of this fortification of all this energy. However, I will say this briefly because I'm not speaking to the collective. I'm speaking to those who celebrate alongside of others, whether or not you follow sports. But when you see humans within their purity in the moment, for whatever it is, when you're in celebration, there's something beautiful like that of, I would say, like that of the beehive effect. And in those situations, as I'm observing and even absorbing the power of celebration with humanity, it brings me the remembrance of the queen bee, the mother of the board. And that's why in computer old school terminology, they call the motherboard, right? The mother or the base of everything or anything that's going to be stationed and interconnected within that technology. So, prospectively speaking, do you think it's a coincidence that the New York Knicks, right here, right now, after all these years, where we got three kings representing the Caribbean. You have a Boricua, Puerto Rican, you have a Dominican, and you have a Jamaican. Word. You have three powerful celebrities representing the New York Knicks, about to possibly win the center of the motherboard. See, the difference between the motherboard and computers and the queen bee, the mother of the beehive, is that one is organic, one is inorganic. One represents the liberation of anything or everything that you are not, all possibilities. Because the queen bee exists also in collaboration with the beehive. See, they're not separate. When that queen bee is sick and ill, best believe immediately once they receive her harmonic or hormonal frequencies when she's in anguish or in pain, scientifically speaking, they gather her, they change their frequency in attempts to heal her. They separate her from her workings or her environment, and they bring her back into the hive. It is not a thought. It's a state of vibratory action, in the same way that if I was hanging out with a couple of friends watching football right now, or basketball, and I'm not a fan, let's say, I don't know much about the sport, with or without a drink in my hand, yo, what's up? Yo, I'm going to celebrate, you know. It brings me great joy to see the release of one soul, whether you're male or female, that is the queen bee frequency, the soul, the motherboard of our organic relationship with the soil of this beautiful, beautiful earth or planet. What I mentioned here, sadly, shouldn't be a video. It should be normal, just like for the love of football. I'm not saying normal like, yo, happy Mother's Day, happy birthday to you, mom, I'm gonna treat you special, I'm gonna take you out for dinner. That's bullshit, all of it. I'm gonna call it out right now. Utter bullshit. Every time you celebrate something that you have a disconnection from, because you know when you celebrate, the next day after that, what happens? Y'all be arguing again if y'all had issues, whether you're a son, with your mother, or whatever the case may be. Now, this video is not an attempt for you to honor your mother more. That's not the basis of what I'm saying. But I am issuing a perspective of what are observable as far as holidays and celebrations, and how do they extract the honey from the bee, extract your essence, your vital life force, your electromagnetic field, your plasmic field within your blood, aka your chi. How do they extract the very essence of your vitality to keep this artificial world moving, to keep these false celebrations, these falsified birthdays with dates that are not even correct, with these Gregorian calendars that were implemented to keep every single one being the working bee. And as now humanity is becoming angry enough, and of course the Caribbean, Africa, South America is starting to vibrate. The calling of the ancestors, the remembrances that's always existed within the bones, our bones which contain our bone marrow, which is the very essence of what starts to matriculate your chi into essence, into usable essence. And in Chinese that's called Jing. Essence from Jing, or essence Jing, to Qi, to the vaporization of Qi, back into an essence, almost as if you're taking water and you're vaporizing it, and now you're using the purity, such as distilled water, for chemistry or for science. This is how they are working with this scalar database of a matrix of technology that I would probably call unofficially the Beehive Network, because they use sacred geometry exactly like the beehive, exactly how humans exert and exert and exert energy. So where does this amass of energy coming from this stadium, these stadiums, as the vortex of the celebration, the center of it, where people from all around the world, they focus their attention to their favorite team and to this ball, this eye, where in the case of it not being black obsidian or a gemstone or a crystal, but a material that cannot reflect back at you the essence that you dish out into it. See, the beehive mentality, or the beehive organic side of how we actually operate when we are in unity consciousness, is that when we exert our chi, as the heavens allow naturally, when it rains it pours, the chi comes right back to us in multitude and amplified. The soil expressed within as we consume food and we exert energy and essence into the heavens comes back, as in the age of Aquarius, pours back into Mother Earth, thus honoring the effects of Mother nature, her winds, the air, the ether, that the soil, the air, and the fire that I breathe when I speak, as I exert myself, it returns back to its source, individually speaking. When enough of us can hone in to our innate inner sense of celebration in this way, when we know our process this way, and then when we plug in to celebrate with others, as in sports, we start emitting a frequency that may be unfamiliar to the new or neo-conscious mind, but to their bone marrow, the people around you, as blocked as they may be, as full as their cup may be poured, as far as them not listening to you or comprehending you. Yet, just like the queen bee, just like you vibrate who you are without attempting to change anything or anyone around you. The celebration is you. And the way that you extrapolate the essence of celebration, as I enjoy celebration in someone else, it's not me taking the energy from others. It's me experiencing the energy returning back into my roots and my sacrum. That's why I get high off of myself. That's why I can't be around anyone that doesn't do it for themselves, because then they will extract from me. And I needed to learn that lesson in this life from birth up until yesterday. Yeah, maybe the day before. Obviously, if you look at my feed, I don't get a lot of likes and attention. I know most of it is because of the algorithm. Some of it could be probably protecting me, which makes no sense because I don't give a fuck. But a lot of it is also because of this, these psyops. They're making sure, because when I speak, it's less my words, because I don't always make sense in a linear fashion that will make me popular. But there's something in the way I speak that is not of me, that will awaken others in the same way that if I met that same person coming to speak into me, it's like they are all reflections of my tribe, of my brother and sisterhood. And they know that if 2 or 3 of us come together, oh fuck. If 2 or 3 of us come together. Now, if you can bypass the ego for a second and seek to see that the mainstream of this message is that once you can see, let's say you are like-minded in a sense where you relate to this message, that the levels of comprehensions are not simply just maximized, but they're amplified within your blueprint criteria. Meaning this is the time. That's why I didn't say it in the beginning of the video, because most people probably cut off this video by then, because they're just too rampant in their ways of living. But those who comprehend, and the 1 or 2 people that probably are supposed to be hearing this message knows that the calling is here and now. It's an exchange of power. It's the wealth that you are, that while people are getting lost in their organic sense of celebration, we can now observe exactly what's been hidden from us as to how they're extracting the essence, because there's so much power going on in this world right now due to the cry of an attempt to remember and to awaken. Now, this mass awakening can be a yay or a dud, regardless. The mass awakening has always been you. Each cell in your body, in the trillions, right? You have trillions of cells. Each of them represent an entire universe of another person that's physically in this earth. And you can count the others that have passed and that are not yet born. You got your trillions right there. Awaken every single cell in your presence and return the power back to self. Then you will see that self is not required